Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about our basic ground movement. We've already done our break falls. Just to demonstrate those one more time, when we do a back break fall, we have our hands high, we come down, we roll backwards, we gently touch the ground, we look at our belt on the way down, our feet come up to about a 45-degree angle, and when we step up, we tuck, we open up the legs so we're on the toes, and we stand. When we go for a side break fall, our leg goes across, we bring ourselves down, gentle slap, sit up, one hand back, one hand in front, feet come in, I lift myself on my opposite hand and leg, I kick my opponent away, then I circle that underneath and behind so that I can keep my eyes on my opponent at all times. Our front break fall, my hands are up, I come down and I throw my legs back, I sprawl back. I look to the side so I don't hit my face on the ground, and I want to gently come down, not all at once, gently come down. From here I turn around, I come up, opposite leg, drive my elbow back and step through at the same time, then throw my back leg over to do a half circle, and then I can repeat that process. After we've learnt that, we do our rolls. I like to start with the back roll because it helps to stretch the back and the neck muscles in preparation for some of the others. A back roll, I'm going to look over my shoulder and throw both of my feet over that same shoulder. Just like this. We need to be able to do that on both sides. So we come down, look over the shoulder, throw both feet, and we're ready to go. With our front break falls, we start off on the ground, we have a knee down and then up onto the toes on the same foot. The other foot is not reaching out, it's in quite close. Fingers forward, the front hand points backwards, and I want to roll through, so my body does not hit the ground with any part hard. The objective of a break fall or a roll is to spread the impact over as large a time and surface area as possible. So I tuck my chin in, over the top I go, and roll through. We then do the same thing from standing. All the steps are the same, I just don't have my knee on the ground anymore. Lower myself down, hand forward, hand back, so I'm creating a wheel shape here. It's like a circle that's facing forward. I don't want to put my hand on the ground. I want to shoot it between my legs so the impact is spread across my arm, which is in this very strong, not quite straight, not quite bent structure. It's an arc. And there's our roll. After we learn our rolls, we need to learn how to bridge. Now a bridge is where, I might do this from the side, my feet come up nice and close to my bottom, and I'm bringing my hands up and my elbows in, a protective position. From here we're going to imagine there's somebody on top of me, I'll show you that in a moment. Elbows are in, I'm going to try to lift and dislodge the person on top of me. If I keep my knees upwards, the person just comes up and straight back down. So I want to try to bring one of my knees close to the ground and then raise my hips strongly to push them off me. And then I do that on both sides. Up on my shoulder, not on my elbow, on my shoulder, elbows in close to my body. Now we'll just demonstrate that with a partner. Say please. So if Say's on the side of my body over here, I'm going to use this bridge to dislodge and get his body off me. If he's on top of me in the mount position, I'm going to trap one arm, and then I'm going to use that, trap the foot, and I use that bridge to off balance him. Thank you, Say. Once we learn the bridge, we can add the shrimping, okay, or the eddy action. we've got two directions. We've got our regular action where we're moving backwards, and then we've got our reverse where we move towards our feet. We use this to gain space. After we've off-balanced somebody who's on top of us, we use the shrimping action to gain space between their body and my body. So I start with the bridge. Then from the bridge, I'm imagining driving down with my hands and pushing my hips back at least as far as my head, further if I can. From here, I'm keeping my hands, my forearms on them to stop them from being able to follow my movement. And then I'm going to get my knee inside and turn it around. I then do the same thing on the other side. Knee down, bridge, hips back as I push away, and my knee comes through the center as I even up. The reverse of this action is where I want to create space, not by moving away from them, but by moving under them. So I do this by coming up, sitting up, stretching my leg out. I fall to the side, and if I can touch my toes here, that's great, because that's going to mean that my body is folded enough to gain a lot of space. From here, I raise my hips off the ground, and I pull with my feet to get space. And then I can do the same thing on the other side. Stretch my legs, sit up, fall to the side, see if I can touch my toes, and then raise my hips and pull with my feet to gain space. If we want to, we can practice these together. We can go regular shrimp, reverse shrimp to bring ourselves back into the center. Let's have a look at that with somebody on top of us. Okay, from a mount position again, and this time I'm going to off balance him towards you. So again, I'm going to try to take his balance first of all, then I step to the outside and I use my bridge to take his balance. Once I've lost his balance here, once he's lost his balance, and he might be trying to recover at this point in time, I use that to push my hips away, and then I can bring my legs back into action. So as he tries to stand up, I can use those for kicking, or I can, if he comes in quicker, I can use that to get a guard position to control him. If he's in a side control position from here, I can use exactly the same principles. Hand on the hip. From here, I can have my hand across or my hand like this, and I bridge to get some space. Then from here, I bridged off balance him. Then I shrimp to be able to get some space between our body. And then I'm in a great place to be able to counter that position. Thank you, say. Then the last movement that we're going to go through is the arm drag sit out. So from here I'm in this seated position, and I'm going to imagine I'm pulling their arm and moving my hips to the side. So we're using this to off balance somebody on the ground. Let's have a look from the side. Say he's in the guard, sorry, his knees in my open guard. And I'm managing to get control of one arm. So I'm going to kick that. I'm going to pull this, put my hand on the ground, and use that to move to the outside of his body so I can take his back. One more time, we'll do that on the same side. So from here he's in my closed guard, or he might even be closer. From here I get an arm, I kick, and I put my hand on the ground so I can shuffle my hips out to transition into that back control position. Or